Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. Today I'm here with something brand new that Anna with Peacecraft Love has brought to us. The Iron Crafters Challenge, kind of like the Iron Chef Challenge. And then I'm mixing it up with Mixed Media Mayhem. And so this is all the fun stuff. So here's the layout. We are scrap lifting for Mixed Media Mayhem. Sandy, who is State Goddess, chose this, and it is a layout done for Ranger Inc., and it's lots of fun. And I am documenting this one picture of New Year's Eve and our crazy get together. So I have my 12 by 12 and just white, and I'm going to bring in some mica sprays and some mica stains, and then I also have some shimmer sprays, and I will share the colors as I go later because I'm going to bring in one more, and then I'm going to put down some stenciling with this Tim Holtz stencil that I've already tacked off a little bit, and I'm going to use this icing paste right here that I will talk about again when I get to it. Now for the oh, and I'm going to use these Small Talk Snarky Tim Holtz. So that is the mixed media part of things for Mixed Media Mayhem. For the Iron Crafters Challenge, we are challenged to use beads, pearls, and or sequins. So I pulled out all the pearls. Now, do I use all these? No, I don't use all that many at all. However, these are the ones I have. Most of them came from Peacecraft Love. And then I have this whole box of sequins that I completely forget I have. Unless they're sent to me in like a kit or something. I almost always forget I have sequins to use. They are just right next to me, but you know, henceforth why we're using them in this Iron Crafters Challenge. So that is for the Iron Crafters Challenge, and then all this other mixed media is for Mixed Media Mayhem, as well as this awesome layout that we're going to scrap lift. So with all this fun stash, let's see how this goes. So starting out with a 12 by 12, just solid white cardstock. Let me say, I should have used some of my Vicky Bouton mixed media paper. This paper is going to have so much stuff on it. So I start by putting, the first one is Balmy Night, which is a shimmer spray by Diane Reevely. And I love these shimmer sprays. They have such a lovely tone to them. And some of them are uber bold. Some of them are a little lighter, but they're usually more saturated, like the color. More so than the mica sprays, and you will definitely see the difference when I get the next color. And I leave the majority of putting this one on just so you can see how I pretty much do all of them. I love to put the ink on my piece of acetate or plastic and then just drag it because you don't have a whole lot of control necessarily, but it's a little bit more controlled than, you know, the splatter or you know, something else. So I'm just wanting to get that little extra effect at the top, sides, and the bottom. Of course, to the left, I'm going to be putting another color, so I don't really care if it's got some ink. I mean, mixed media is messy. And I know that going in, my fingers were not a normal color when I was done. Okay, so the next one that I do, you can already see the wrinkling coming on. The next one I do is actually called Decayed because this came out in the Halloween color lines. And so this is a mica stain. So this is going to have a little more saturation than the mica sprays, but the stain, I love the way that it works. Now, this is antique bronze and this is a mica spray. Now this is a little bit more diluted. It's more of a shiny shimmer and not, you know, like you can see the white through it. And of course it didn't cooperate with me. It ends up all over the Decayed. It's like a greenish gray color or something. It looked a little more silver in the bottle, but I knew what color it was because I have little things on the top of my inks. So I just wanted it to look a little more saturated So I added a little bit more, and now you can really see the ripples. And then I did brushed pewter, which is a mica spray, which also is very translucent. You can't really see, but I'm gonna get that down, and then it's kind of a nice darker shade, to where it's not looking so white with color. But then I take my paper towel roll, and then it disappears. So there's barely any color there. So on my desk, I had Slate Gray, which is a shimmer spray by Diane Reevely as well. And so I went ahead and just added that on top. I mean, why not? I've already got all the inks. Now look how brave I am leaving that open bottle sitting right there. Y'all, it is a wonder opening all 6 of these ink sprays and not spilling any of them. Now that is a wonder. So you can definitely tell the difference between the shimmer sprays, the mica spray, and the mica stain. And I love the way this turns out. The mixed media is probably my favorite thing. So I tapped out Black Marble, which is a shimmer spray as well. And then I pull out my Tim Holtz stencil and I put that down. And what I am using is Prima icing paste. And it's in vintage gold. I got it from Peacecraft Love a while back. And because I saw my friend Christine Harden use it, and I loved it. And I really wanted something that was really, really gold, not something that was going to kind of dissipate. So I don't make you watch all of that. I left this part in because I screw up and I get a big smear of gold at the top of my stencil because I was being, impatient and not not taking my time like I should have. I mean, I went to all the trouble to use Post-it notes and paper and washi tape to keep from like making a big old mess. But look at that big old blob at the top. I don't care. That's the fun of mixed media, and that's why I love it so much. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, precise. It's just there. So I end up moving this one down a little. I started putting it up there even with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and decided I wanted it to be down a little bit further. There's not really any rhyme or reason to the numbers. I considered doing 12 and then 31 at the bottom, but changed my mind because that's the date, of course, because this is New Year's Eve. But you know what? Why? So this has sat, I'm kind of doing a little preview because I let this sit for about 30 to 45 minutes while I called my mom. And so it is not tacky to the touch anymore. I just figured since I'd already made enough boo-boos. And that 2 in the bottom left corner, I'm pretty sure I put my finger in or moved the stencil into or something because it's got a little smear. Whatever. Like I said, that is the fun with this stuff because it doesn't have to be perfect. With stamping, sometimes I feel like it's got to be so precise. That's why I like the distressed look of stamping, because I'm not precise. So I went through my thicker stash and pulled out some things that I could use color-wise that was going to work for me. And then I also got a few foam stars from one of my thicker collection, and I'm using the white and the black and just kind of putting them around. There's nothing like that necessarily on the inspiration layout, but I really just was kind of looking for a little something because they have like these bigger embellishments in the top left corner and the bottom right corner, and I have these little mixed drinks that I wanted to use up. And since this is New Year's Eve and all that stuff you see on the table, except for my 13-year-old's glass is, and my daughter, because she was driving, everything else was alcohol. And if you look close, you can tell that the guy at the end of the table, which is my soon-to-be ex-husband, and the guy next to my son and me are rosy-cheeked. Oh, you know what? The other guy at the table, which is my daughter's boyfriend, he didn't drink either. He's not old enough. And I'm not like that. So, Anywho, I believe James drank enough for everybody. And my daughter's friend who's sitting next to my son. So, anywho, we all stayed home. It was safe. And my daughter was the one who drove home and she was not drinking. So, all is well. We are very cautious about that stuff. So, anywho, so I am using these want to scrap pearls. And I chose these because they had the variety of sizes. And I decided that I was going to use them right here around my picture to make this just a little extra embellishment. And I just did a large, medium, and small one. I just didn't want them, like, I didn't want to overdo putting them on there. It's not like I'm worried about running out. I have plenty. So, but I just didn't want it to be like I was putting them on there just to put them on there. So I loved putting them on there the way that I did because it brings your eye more to that picture. And so now I am putting some clusters of sequins. No rhyme or reason, just kind of putting them in some places. The ones I just put down were from, I think, just a stash of sequins I have, but I believe the rest of the sequins I use came from Peacecraft Love because she sends a little pouch of sequins when she sends your order, and I placed a lot of orders in 2022. Plus, she would send them sometimes with our Creative Ambassador kits. So, this little thing that I'm pouring them in is the top of a little container that I had some brads and stuff in. I think I'm going to exchange all the brads that are in there and put these sequins because that little tray was perfect to pour things in to try and use them. I had a title. I want to put a happy on here and then I'll do a facing one that says New Year. But I had one that was white because I thought that would stand out really well and I liked it. But it was huge and it wasn't going to work for me. So I found another one in my thickers stash and it was a little bit smaller. So here is the inspiration layout again. Like I said, Sandy picked this and it is from Ranger ink. Almost everything I use was from Ranger except my Prima paste. So yay. So yep, there's my big boo-boo. Don't care. I love the way this turned out. I had a lot of fun working with the mixed media paper next time. I just rescued some wine. It was trapped in a bottle. I love the snarky ones, but I never get a real chance to use them, or not very often. And so this was the perfect time. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope that you will go below to the description box and check out all the other people who are hopping along with Peacecraft Love and the Iron Crafters Challenge, and also all of those who are hopping along with Mixed Media Mayhem, because there will be lots and lots of amazing talent. So, hope you'll come back and see me again real soon, and happy scrapping.